Okay. Then comes parasitism. Parasitism is a negative symbiotic association. Symbiotic association here refers to the fact that both of them are interdependent. Okay. So symbiotic doesn't mean always positive. Symbiotic means interdependent relationship. So parasitism is a negative symbiotic association where there is a host and then there is a parasite. But when multiple parasites actually take over the host and actually causes diseases, then the parasites are called pathogens. Now, parasites are different types also. It could be based on association, it could be obligate, or it could be facultative. Obligate parasites are those kind of parasites that actually depend and that they cannot live without the host. Whereas facultative parasites are that kind of parasites which can stay out of their host as well and can regulate their entire body systems. But they parasitize on different hosts in order to acquire resources. Okay, then there are different kind of parasite on the basis of the sizes. There are macroparasites which actually are huge in the size, where the few are microparasites. Then comes position. It could be ectoparasite. Ectoparasites are the parasites that are found on outside of the body. Then there are mesoparasites. Then there are endoparasites. Now mesoparasites are the kind of parasites that are actually found on the body surface. Mesoparasites are kind of the parasite that actually stick to the surface of the structure or the host, then slowly intervene and get inside the skin and become endoparasite. So they are initially ectoparasite, but slowly get inside the skin of the organism or the outer layer of the organism and become endoparasites. So that sort of interaction is called mesoparasite. Then there are also multiple variation of parasitic interactions. Now, parasitoids are those organisms which lay their eggs inside the body of the host. Now, parasitoids are those kind of interaction. We lay their egg inside the host and leave them. Okay, so they only take the host for the development of the larvae and nothing else. So this kind of interaction is called parasitoid, and it happens in case of parasitoid wasp. And then there are enslavers. It is a very interesting kind of parasitic interaction where one particular parasite get inside the body and takes control over the entire process of the host. It is also found in many kind of bugs and insects. Then there are brood parasites which actually acquires a nest of the host and then lives there, actually sometimes destroying the entire brood or the eggs of the other host. There are kleptoparasite. Kleptoparasite are kind of parasites which actually steal food. Okay, so they steal foods or the resource that are acquired by the host. Then there is social parasites. Social parasites are that sort of individuals which mimic or actually parasitize on the social structure. Then there is hyperparasite. Hyperparasites are the parasite which actually feed on different parasites. Okay, hyperparasites are those kind of parasite which feed on another parasite. So let's say parasite 1 is feeding on parasite 2, which is actually feeding on the host. So parasite 2 is feeding on the host, but parasite 1 is feeding on parasite 2. So that sort of interaction is called hyperparasitism. Okay, then there is sexual parasites. Good example is of anglerfish. Then there is adelphoparasite. Adelphoparasite are the parasites which feed on their siblings. Okay, so the host and the parasites are actually related, and that is called adelphoparasites. Then comes mutualism. Mutualism is a positive symbiotic association. Positive symbiotic association in the sense it is reciprocative and it is mutual. When I am getting benefit with other one is also benefiting, then that is mutualistic association. Now there are also some cheaters in that. Cheaters in the sense biological cheaters are those organisms in a symbiotic association are the individuals which acquire greater resources in a mutualistic association. Let's say two individuals are mutually associated where A is getting benefit from B and B is getting benefit from A. But if A is getting the higher benefit from that of the B, whereas B is getting the lower amount of benefit, then A is the cheater or biological cheater. That sort of interaction happens as well. And sometimes selection favors cheaters, but most of the time it results in dismantling the mutualistic association. Okay, so association can share multiple functions as well. Let's say there are two species and both of them are mutually associated. One can be obligate and other can be facultative. both can be obligate, both can be facultative. Let's say A is obligate and B is also obligated, obligatorily associated. They cannot live without each other. Then that is obligate association. A and B, one is obligated and one is facultative. So A cannot live without B, but B can live without A. So that sort of interaction is called obligate facultative. Whereas A and B are both mutually associated, they can get benefits when they're together, but they can also live when they're apart from each other. And that sort of interaction is called facultative. So they can be either associated inside or they can be associated outside. If those kind of individuals which are associated outside and they interact with each other by giving or intaking something, then that is ectosymbiont. While as there are some organisms which actually infuse together, like for example lichens. There are multiple organisms which infuse together to form associative interactions or mutualism, and hence are called endosymbionts. The mutualism depends on multiple functions or can give out multiple functions. That is, that can be for either resource sharing, that can be for dependent development, like mutualistic association with fig wasps and wasp. Okay, so that is dependent development, where the development of that fig wasp is entirely dependent on the obligatory wasp and fig association. Then there is cleaning symbiosis, when one particular species is cleaning the other species. Let's say species A is cleaning species B. That sort of interaction you can see, different birds which clean the small mites from that of the large herbivores. So the birds are getting feed from the herbivores, whereas the herbivores are getting cleaned. So they are getting freed from parasites or small organisms. And then there is protective symbiosis. You know the example of lichens, where the fungus provides the protective structure and the algae provides nutrition. So the resources are given by one another. So there is multiple functions, or there can be one single function. It depends. Okay. Then there is relatively associated interactions, that is amensalism and commensalism. Amensalism is a kind of interaction where one inflicts harm while the other is unaffected. Let's say A and B. So A is is unaffected while B is getting harmed, okay, in a manner, then that is amensalism. Now there can be two different types. One is allelopathy. Few plants release sort of chemicals which is a byproduct of their entire metabolism activity. That chemicals actually doesn't allow any other plant to grow in, and that sort of interaction is called allelopathy. So the biochemicals that they produce is called allelochemicals. So these allelochemicals actually don't these allelochemicals don't allow a plant. So these allelochemicals that are released by the plant don't allow other plants to grow in that area. So that sort of interaction is allelopathy. Okay. Also sometimes termed as antibiosis. And then there is non-associative competition, where the competition happened without the knowledge of the particular species. Okay, let's say a plant, there are multiple plants in a particular resource. So let's say in a particular area there are multiple plants, and one plant grew out to be a larger plant and caused shade in this area, right? So these plant acquired the resource. Okay, it didn't meant to lower down these plants which are available in smaller sizes, but due to the shade that it covered, these plants died. Okay, so it is not getting affected in any manner, but the plants or the smaller plants are dying. Okay, so that sort of association is called non-associative competition. Also, you can get an example of elephants crossing the path of small plants, or trampling down the small plants, where elephant is not getting affected in any manner, but it is just growing to or acquiring a particular resource like water, whereas the other part or other organisms are getting trampled or killed. Then comes commensalism. Commensalism is where one is benefited while the other one is unaffected. Like let's say A and B, then A is getting benefits while the B is unaffected. Okay, so it can be of three different types. One is foracy. Foracy talks about an animal which attach themselves to other organism for transport. Now one good example is of remora fish. Now remora usually gets attached to a shark or manatee, and then attaches itself and feeds on the small particles that are eaten by the manatees, and also uses it for transport to multiple regions. And then there is inquilinism. Inquilinism talks about organisms which make home in the second organisms or acquire the second organism permanently. Like for example, woodpeckers boring in holes in trees. Okay, so the trees are not affected in any manner, but the woodpeckers are getting home, and then they acquire the particular resource permanently. Okay. Then there is metabiosis. Metabiosis is kind of interaction where one organism creates a particular suitable environment for the other one. Like for example, hermit crab and sea anemone. So that sort of interaction is called metabiotic interaction. Okay. So these are the examples of different interactive association or interactions that work around the different species in my biotic world. We can find more different kind of interaction, more different kind of association, but these are some kind of example that can come around. Okay, so we'll focus on different aspects of competition and predation as well. These are the small associations which you need to get in touch and to understand that these are particular associative ideas. Okay, thank you.